I don't think that most people who haven't looked at Moholy's work as closely as we have, including under the microscope, realize how incredibly intricate his work was. I mean, his second wife, Sybil, referred to him at one point as like a gem cutter. All of the treatment that we do is really in the service not just of preserving the work, but recapturing the qualities of the work that are most important to it. We really do as much research and as much looking and as much talking as we can to experts to try and get at the core of what the artist's intent was. This is a 1942 work in the Guggenheim's collection called B10 Space Modulator, and it's one of a group of works that Moholy painted on shaped plexiglass. We know that he actually put the plexiglass in his kitchen oven at times. His wife describes various family members helping him out and sort of juggling the drapey plexiglass as it hardened. Depending on how it's lit, you can see that it casts a whole range of beautiful shadows. He was suspending these translucent plastics several inches in front of these backings and then lighting them so that as the light passed through, these kind of layers of shadows would be cast on the backing board, which he actually referred to at one point as a projection screen. This is a 1943 work called Papmak. To me, it's one of the more interesting painted works in the entire exhibition. These radiating shapes here and this caterpillar-like shape through the center are actual bubbles that formed in the plexiglass. We realized this was flawed plexiglass, but we were still unsure whether these were flaws that he introduced or whether they were flaws that happened during the manufacturing process. And both of those are very intriguing hypotheses. I think we've pretty much concluded after consulting with many scientists and plastics experts that this is something that occurred at the factory level, and Moholy realized that it afforded him this amazing, unique opportunity to create these incredibly dramatic, shadowy effects. This is a work called Space Modulator, which Moholy worked on between 1939 and 1945. As for all of the works on plexiglass, he painted both on the recto and the verso. There's one side that's meant to be the front of the work, but he played with the actual depth of the material that he was painting on and with its translucency and created these layers of paint that interact. This work is actually currently turned face in, so we are looking at the back of the work. The reason it's face in at the moment is that conservation treatment is underway. I am cleaning it and also checking to make sure that the adhesion of the paint is secure. If there are problems of paint adhesion on the back, any material that we introduce to secure that paint could potentially be seen through the front. So we have to perfectly match the refractive index of the plexiglass using materials to which the paint is not sensitive, but also using solvents to which this flawed plexiglass is not sensitive. And plexiglass is somewhat solvent sensitive to begin with. Many of these materials that he was using, first of all, we didn't know what some of them were. This is a 1930 work that is in the Guggenheim's collection, which is painted on a material that we now know has the commercial name of Trollet. For many years, in fact, until we did the research which we've done for this exhibition, we believed this to be a phenol formaldehyde, which is the material that Bakelite is made out of. It turns out that our analysis revealed that it's a quite unstable plastic, cellulose nitrate. So that's quite daunting, and it turns out that there are very few things I can actually touch cellulose nitrate with without the fear of accelerating this aging process. My normal kind of repertoire of conservation materials has been severely, abbreviated in treating those works. The conservation department at the Guggenheim has collaborated with a group of scientists in Chicago, the Art Institute of Chicago and Northwestern University, which is an initiative funded by the Andrew Mellon Foundation. We've also been working with several plastics experts. Thea Van Osten, who's a scientist who's focused on plastics for most of her career, and Ana Lagana, who is a conservator focused on plastics. I mean, this work has really required a village to understand it and to devise an appropriate treatment for it.